My dear, the reason people take advantage of you is not because you are weak. It's because you are too kind in a world that worships convenience, not connection. Stop letting everyone sit at your table when they didn't even bring a chair. Stop being too friendly with people who only greet you when they need you. Remember this, your kindness is a gift, not a public service. So protect your light before the world dims it. Your energy is sacred, not for everyone. Not everyone deserves to have access to your peace, your presence, or your power. Some people come into your life not to grow with you, but to feed off you. They take your light, your time, your warmth, and when you are drained, they go searching for another glow. And the saddest part is they don't even realize what they've taken because you gave it so freely. But the truth is, your energy is divine currency. You must spend it wisely. Think about this. Your energy is what sets the tone in every room you walk into. Have you ever noticed how some people feel like sunlight and others feel like a storm? That's not coincidence. That's energy. When you laugh, encourage, love, and care, you are giving pieces of that sacred force away. But if you keep giving it to the wrong people, your inner light starts to flicker. You start waking up tired, not because of lack of sleep, but because of spiritual exhaustion. You've been overgiving to people who don't even notice the difference between presence and privilege. There are people who see your kindness and call it weakness. They see your patience and call it foolishness. They see your compassion and call it a resource to exploit. But your soul isn't a battery for others to recharge their laziness, negativity, or drama. You were not born to be the power supply for people who refuse to build their own light. You have to be selective about who gets your energy, because not everyone will respect it. Imagine you wake up in the morning with a full phone battery, 100%. That's your energy for the day. Now, if you spend your morning listening to gossip, replying to toxic texts, arguing with people who will never understand you, and overthinking situations that are already over, by noon, your battery is at 20%. You haven't even lived your day yet, but you've already given your power away. And then you wonder why you feel drained, why nothing excites you anymore. It's because you keep charging other people's chaos instead of guarding your calm. A woman once said, "I used to spend my days fixing people who were never broken. They were just comfortable being miserable." She learned that no amount of love can heal someone who refuses to take responsibility for their own energy. That realization changed her life. She stopped running to everyone's rescue and started running toward her own peace. That's when her glow returned. When she guarded her energy, her joy multiplied, her confidence grew, and the right people started to appear. Because when you protect your energy, you begin to attract what matches it. Your energy is sacred. It's your spirit signature. It's how your soul speaks before you even say a word. That's why you must not waste it on endless conversations that lead nowhere, fake friendships that drain you, or relationships that make you feel smaller than you are. You are not required to entertain every argument or attend every invitation. You don't have to reply to every message or explain your silence to people who never cared to listen when you spoke. Guarding your energy doesn't make you selfish. It makes you aware. Think about the times you were around someone and felt uneasy, even though they never said anything cruel. That's because energy speaks louder than words. Some people smile at you but silently envy you. Some praise you but secretly compete with you. And the longer you stay in their presence, the more your spirit feels heavy, your dreams feel blurry, and your motivation fades. That's why discernment is so important. Learn to feel the vibration of people's intentions. Your body knows before your mind does. The heaviness in your chest, the sudden tiredness, the irritation without reason, that's your soul saying, this person doesn't deserve your energy. At work, you might notice how one colleague constantly drains you with negativity. Every time they talk, they complain. Every time something goes wrong, they blame. You try to cheer them up, offer solutions, but nothing ever changes. That's when you must remember. You can't heal what benefits from being broken. Some people cling to misery because it's their comfort zone. And if you keep pouring your light into their darkness, soon you'll forget what sunshine feels like. Your energy shapes your destiny. The people you allow around you influence your thoughts, your habits, and your peace. If you surround yourself with dreamers, you'll start dreaming higher. If you stay around complainers, you'll begin to complain. Energy is contagious. Protect yourself from infections of the soul. Learn to say, no, I can't do this right now. Learn to walk away from conversations that steal your calm. Learn to choose peace over popularity, solitude over superficiality. There is a sacred power in withdrawal. When you stop giving your energy to everything, you start giving it to what matters. You begin to see how much clarity silence brings. You start realizing that not everyone deserves to hear your plans. Not everyone deserves your laughter. Not everyone deserves your time. You are not obligated to light up every room you walk into. Some rooms deserve to stay dark. Every great soul learns this truth. Your energy is a garden, not a public park. Only those who water it with love, respect, and consistency deserve to walk through it. Everyone else should admire from afar. Because the moment you stop wasting your energy on temporary people, you'll notice how much strength you have for your purpose, your growth, and your peace. The more you protect it, the more powerful it becomes. People will feel your aura shift. You'll no longer chase attention because peace has become your presence. Stop smiling through disrespect. Stop laughing it off when someone crosses your boundaries. Stop pretending you're okay when you're not. Because every time you smile through disrespect, you teach the world how to mistreat you. You teach them that your silence is permission, that your kindness is compliance, and that your peace can be interrupted without consequence. Disrespect doesn't always come as an insult. Sometimes it comes quietly, wrapped in jokes, masked by charm, hidden in familiar voices. But no matter how softly it arrives, it steals a piece of your dignity every time you let it pass unchallenged. Have you ever been in a group where someone made a joke at your expense? Everyone laughed, and though it cut deep, you smiled too, not because it was funny, but because you didn't want to seem too sensitive. That smile wasn't peace. It was pain disguised as politeness. And in that moment, you didn't just protect their comfort, you betrayed your own. You allowed disrespect to masquerade as humor. The next time, the joke got worse, because disrespect, when tolerated once, grows bolder the next time. It doesn't shrink, it spreads. Think about that relationship where you kept forgiving someone who didn't change. They dismissed your feelings, ignored your boundaries, and yet you smiled, thinking love meant enduring everything. But love without respect is just emotional erosion. When you smile through that kind of pain, you aren't healing the relationship, you're helping it decay. You can't keep swallowing disrespect and expect your spirit to stay whole. One day you wake up empty, realizing that every forced smile was a small funeral for your self-worth, or that workplace where your ideas were ignored until someone else repeated them louder. You sat there smiling, thinking professionalism meant silence. But silence in the face of disrespect isn't professionalism, it's self-erasure. You don't have to raise your voice to command respect, but you must raise your presence. When you stop smiling through disrespect, you begin teaching others that your peace is not for sale. We are conditioned, especially as good-hearted people, to always be nice. But niceness without boundaries becomes weakness. It's okay to speak up when someone talks over you. It's okay to walk away when someone belittles you. It's okay to say, that was not okay. Even if your voice trembles when you say it, you don't owe anyone comfort at the cost of your self-respect. The truth is, the people who are worth keeping in your life will understand your boundaries. Those who get offended by them were never meant to stay. Imagine someone close to you, a friend, a partner, a family member, constantly cutting you off when you talk. They call it just teasing. But over time, that teasing becomes a pattern. You start doubting your words, measuring your tone, second-guessing yourself. That's how emotional disrespect works. It doesn't break you in one blow. It chips away at your confidence, piece by piece, while you smile to keep the peace. But peace bought with silence is not peace. It's surrender. There's a story of a young woman who kept smiling through every insult because she didn't want to be seen as rude. Her CO workers laughed at her accent. Her friends made jokes about her dreams. Her partner dismissed her feelings as too dramatic. She smiled every time, convincing herself that being quiet meant being mature. But one day she realized maturity isn't about staying silent. It's about knowing when to speak up. So she stopped smiling. She stopped pretending. She began saying, "That's not funny. That's not true. That's not how I deserve to be treated." People were shocked at first. They said she'd changed. But the truth is, she hadn't changed. She'd finally remembered who she was. You have to understand that disrespect thrives on reaction. The more you smile through it, the more it believes it can stay. The moment you stop pretending, it loses its power, because disrespect feeds on tolerance. It starves on awareness. You don't have to be loud to be strong. You don't need anger to set boundaries. You can say, "I don't appreciate that," and leave it at that. The power lies not in how you shout, but in how calmly you refuse to entertain what belittles you. In friendships, when someone constantly takes and rarely gives back, that's a form of disrespect. When you always listen, but no one listens to you. When you always show up, but no one shows up for you. And yet you keep smiling, telling yourself it's fine. That's how your soul learns to shrink. Don't let your loyalty become your leash. Your kindness should not be the rope that others use to pull you down. Even in family, disrespect can hide under the label of elders know best, or it's just how they are. But no age or title gives anyone the right to dismiss your worth. You can love people deeply and still set boundaries firmly. You can honor someone and still say, "That hurt me." Respect is mutual. It doesn't flow one way. Every time you smile through disrespect, you teach people that your forgiveness is guaranteed, that your patience has no end. But the moment you stop, the world shifts. People who truly care will adjust. The ones who only valued your silence will fall away. It may feel lonely at first, but that loneliness is freedom. Freedom from fake laughter, from shallow peace, from being the one who carries everyone else's comfort while neglecting your own. You were not born to be a cushion for others' cruelty. You were not created to make everyone comfortable while your soul trembles beneath the weight of fake smiles. The day you decide that your peace is more important than appearances is the day you reclaim your power. When you stop smiling through disrespect, you finally start speaking the language of self-worth, a language only the strong can understand. Friendliness must have discipline, because warmth without wisdom turns into weakness. Being friendly is beautiful, but when friendliness has no boundaries, it begins to invite people who mistake your kindness for opportunity. You can't open your heart to everyone and expect to stay unharmed. Not everyone who smiles at you means well. Not everyone who praises you respects you. There are people who come close, not because they care, but because they see what they can get. That's why your friendliness must be guarded with discipline, the kind that knows when to give and when to walk away. You see, being friendly is not the same as being foolish. It doesn't mean letting everyone in. It means having the maturity to decide who deserves your presence and who doesn't. Think about that colleague who always compliments you, laughs at your jokes, and acts like your best friend until the day comes when you get the promotion they wanted. Suddenly their smile fades, their tone changes, they start to compete with you silently. It's in that moment you realize your friendliness was real, but theirs was strategic. This world doesn't always mirror your intentions. You can't expect everyone to treat your sincerity as sacred. That's why discipline is vital, to know when your friendliness is being used instead of valued. There are people who will call you only when they need something. They'll sweet talk you when they're in trouble, then disappear when their sky's clear. And every time you'll pick up the phone smiling, thinking maybe this time it's different. But it's not. They don't want you. They want your help. They don't see you. They see convenience. Discipline and friendliness means learning to recognize the pattern and saying, no, not this time. It's refusing to be someone's emergency exit when they've never been your doorway. Some of the kindest souls become the most wounded because they never learn to control their giving. They keep saying yes when their hearts whisper no. They keep showing up for people who wouldn't cross the street for them. They think being nice means being endlessly available, but real friendliness knows limits. You can be a good person and still say, I can't help you right now. You can be compassionate without being consumed. Discipline protects kindness from turning into exhaustion. There's a difference between being friendly and being a people pleaser. Friendliness is a strength. People pleasing is a wound. One comes from confidence, the other from fear. Fear of rejection, fear of not being liked. You can't let that fear make you overextend yourself. Imagine being at a party surrounded by people you barely know, yet you're smiling at everyone, laughing at jokes that aren't funny, pretending to be comfortable when inside you feel drained. That's not friendliness, that's emotional overexposure. When you try to please everyone, you lose yourself in the process. The truth is, no matter how friendly you are, not everyone will like you, and that's okay. Your worth isn't measured by how many people approve of you. Think of your friendliness like a light. If you shine it everywhere all the time, people will stop noticing it. But if you shine it intentionally, with purpose, with balance, people will feel its warmth without taking it for granted. Discipline teaches you how to protect your glow. You don't have to smile at every stranger, entertain every conversation, or open your heart to every acquaintance. Some connections are seasonal, some are situational, and some are simply distractions. Learning to tell the difference is how you preserve your peace. There's a story of a man who always tried to help everyone he met. He was generous, friendly, and open-hearted. But after years of being used and disappointed, he became bitter. Not because kindness failed him, but because he failed to give it wisely. His friendliness had no discipline. He learned too late that being kind to everyone doesn't mean giving everyone access. You can still love humanity while being selective with individuals. Friendliness with discipline means you don't let emotions control your generosity. You help where help is valued. You give where your giving inspires growth, not dependency. You know when to engage and when to withdraw. You listen, but you also protect your silence. You show grace, but you also recognize manipulation. This isn't coldness, it's self-respect in practice. In friendships, discipline means not forcing closeness with people who show distance. It means not chasing validation from those who make you question your worth. In relationships, it means not confusing attention with affection. Someone can be friendly to you every day and still not have your best interests at heart. In family, it means setting emotional boundaries even with those you love, because love without discipline leads to emotional burnout. When you start practicing disciplined friendliness, some people will call you selfish. They'll say you've changed, but they're only reacting to the boundaries that inconvenience them. The same people who praised your kindness will question your silence. Let them. You are not responsible for explaining your growth to anyone. You're responsible for protecting the peace that allows you to keep growing. The most powerful souls are not the friendliest to everyone. They are the most intentional. They know that not every hand extended deserves to be held. They understand that real kindness doesn't mean being everywhere for everyone. It means being fully present for the right ones. Friendliness must have discipline, because without it, you will pour yourself into people who were never meant to carry you, and one day you'll wake up wondering where all your energy went. And so, my friend, when you walk out of this moment and step back into the world, remember this. Your energy, your love, your kindness, your friendliness, they are sacred currencies. Do not spend them where the return is disrespect. You owe no one your exhaustion. You owe no one your constant availability. You owe only yourself your peace. Because when you learn to protect your energy, when you learn to smile with discernment and give with wisdom, you become untouchable. There will be days when people will say, you've changed. Yes, you have. You've changed from being everyone's yes to being your own yes. You've changed from pouring endlessly into others to finally filling your own cup. You've changed from explaining yourself to understanding yourself. And that change is not arrogance. It is awakening. Never apologize for outgrowing the version of you who tolerated what should have been rejected. Never shrink your light just because it makes others uncomfortable. You were not created to be agreeable. You were created to be authentic. Life will test you. It will bring people who will challenge your boundaries, mock your silence, and twist your kindness into weakness. but do not flinch. Remember, the lion doesn't lose sleep over the opinion of sheep. Let them talk, let them misunderstand. You keep walking in dignity because your worth is not up for debate. People who are intimidated by your self-respect will call it pride. People who can't manipulate you will call you rude. But those who truly value your spirit will understand. Your peace is your power. Do not confuse being loved with being needed. Some people need your help, not your heart. They need your light to see, but they have no intention of protecting the flame. And when you stop giving it to them, they'll call you cold. Let them, because sometimes silence is the loudest declaration of strength. Sometimes the most loving thing you can say is nothing at all. Not every battle deserves your energy. Not every apology deserves your words. Protect your calm like it's your last breath. Because in a world that thrives on chaos, peace is the ultimate rebellion. Remember this: the world respects those who respect themselves. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow, by what you stop, and by what you walk away from when you finally stop smiling through disrespect. When you stop being endlessly friendly with those who drain you, you begin to glow differently. Your eyes change, your aura shifts. You move like someone who knows their worth, and people feel it. They can't explain it, but they sense it. That's the power of a soul that's no longer begging for acceptance, but standing in awareness. So when someone tries to make you feel guilty for protecting your peace, say this: I am not hard to love. I am just not easy to use. Say, I am not rude. I am reserved for what matters. Say, I don't need to be understood to be respected. These are not just words. They are boundaries in motion. The moment you start living by them, your world transforms. Every strong person you admire once had to make the same decision: to stop being too available, too kind, too forgiving, too friendly. They had to choose solitude over fake connections, peace over validation, truth over approval. And when they did, their power awakened. The same power sleeps inside you. It's the voice that says no more. The strength that whispers, I deserve better. The fire that reminds you, I am enough. Listen to it. It's the sound of your spirit reclaiming its throne, because one day you will realize that protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's survival. You cannot heal the world by bleeding for it. You cannot be a light to others if you let them blow you out. The most powerful version of you will not be the one who pleases everyone, but the one who finally honors themselves. And when that day comes, when you look in the mirror and see peace instead of people-pleasing, confidence instead of exhaustion, and grace instead of guilt, you'll understand this truth. You didn't lose friends, you lost fakes. You didn't lose love, you lost manipulation. You didn't lose your softness, you learned to protect it. You didn't become cold, you became clear. So walk tall, speak less, and move like someone who knows their soul is priceless. Let your silence command the same. Respect your words once begged for, because when you master that, when you become the kind of soul that can be kind without being conquered, you will finally understand the art of strength with grace and the beauty of discipline and love.